Hey guys, it's Tasha from the Bookish Gal, and today I'm going to be doing my August wrap-up and September TBR. So September has already started. I am sorry, this is kind of late. I've been so busy trying to move into my new house. Well, we're like renovating it a little and then we're gonna move in soon, so I've been crazy busy. I haven't been reading much lately, but I did so much reading in August, so I'm so excited to talk about that. It was my best reading month ever, I think, in my life. So in August I read about 8 books, like, oh my gosh. I had a lot more free time than I expected in August. It was wonderful. Bout of Books 11.0 was in August. I did a wrap-up video on that and I read like 4 books or something during that week, so it was wonderful. It was tremendous and I am so happy about it. So the first book that I finished the majority of in August was Insurgent by Veronica Roth, which is book 2 in the Divergent trilogy. I still need to read Allegiant. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just don't want it to end, so yeah, I'm kind of putting it off, but I gave this about a 4.5 stars. I didn't like it as much as the first one. It was just very depressing, a very somber mood, understandably so. But yeah, it was just kind of really depressing for me and kind of slower, but I really love the ending. It was a huge cliffhanger, so I'm very excited to read Allegiant, even though I don't want to. Next, I read Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover, which is a new adult contemporary, and I did a review video on it, so if you want to know more about this book, you can go check it out. It's spoiler free. I'll link it below, but this is basically about a kind of sexual only relationship between a guy and a girl, and there's really a bunch of secrets hidden underneath that very vague plot line, but it is such a good book. It's by Colleen Hoover, so it's amazing. Next, I read Burn for Burn by Jenny Han and Siobhan Vivian. This was really, really good. I've been wanting to read this for some time. Everyone raves about it, and I can see why. It's told from, I think, 3 point of views from 3 different girls, and it's about revenge. It's kind of like John Tucker Must Die, kind of that kind of vibe. It's really, really good, and I'm really excited to read the second one, which I do have, so I need to go ahead and read that sometime. Next, I have The Walking Dead Compendium 2, which I don't have because I had to return to the library. It's a bind-up of a bunch of Walking Dead comics, volumes 9 through 16, I believe, which is roughly 45 comics. I really like this. I like the first one better, I think. Well, I don't know. The first one, I kind of knew what was going to happen because I watched the show, so I wasn't surprised as much as I was in this one. But this one, it was getting kind of repetitive, I felt, you know, like, how many times can you do kind of the same storyline, like getting attacked, running away, killing people, getting attacked, running away, blah, blah, blah. On the show, you can make one little scene extend for such a long time. In the comics, it's more fast-paced, but towards the end, they really spruced things up, and it was such a cliffhanger, and I really want to read the third one. The problem is, the third one isn't even made yet. The third compendium is made up of the next 8 volumes, and they only made like 6 volumes of those 8, so I'm gonna have to wait a very, very long time until I get my hands on the next compendium. I have The Maze Runner by James Dashner, and oh my gosh, this was amazing. I think this was my favorite read of August, to be honest. Like, I read some pretty good books in August. Ugly Love, Burn for Burn, The Walking Dead Compendium, like, they're all really wonderful, but this, it was so fast-paced. I kind of didn't like the language at first, but I got used to it, and it was just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. The movie's coming out on September 19th. I'm going to be on my trip when that comes out, but hopefully I can go see the movie on my downtime. This is a dystopian, if you don't know, about a boy, and he ends up in a maze with a bunch of other boys. They don't know how they got there, they don't remember much about themselves, and they're trying to figure out a way to get out, what the whole maze is even, and it's just fabulous. Plus Dylan O'Brien. The last 3 books I read were the, I think, 10th, 11th, and 12th books in a very overdrawn series by Kate Bryan. The series is called The Private Series. I started it when I was in high school, and I am well out of college, so yeah, I've been reading that series for a very long time. The books were called Suspicion, Scandal, and Vanished. I would have finished the series by now because there is 14 books in the series, but after the 12th book it just took an awful turn. It was so awful I'm going to make a separate video about it kind of, and I just cannot handle what that series did, and so I'm quitting. Can you believe it? I'm quitting on the 12th of the 14th book. That is, oh my god. And I'm also not really a series quitter. I usually, even if I don't want to, I will continue the series because it's like I just need to finish it, but I refuse. The books are about a girl and she goes to a private boarding school, high school, and it's just about her, and it has elitism themes and popularity and social issues. Like, it's just a really good drama, guilty pleasure type of book, and it was really good for, like, I would say the first 8 books. The books are just so repetitive though, it becomes very unrealistic and it just goes awful. Like, the genre completely changes. You just can't change a genre like that, so I just So yeah, that was my August wrap up. Yeah, it was pretty good with the exception of the horrible turn that the series that I was so devoted to for so many years just took. Moving on to what I'm going to be reading in September, I am currently reading Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. Now, I decided to pick this up because all of a sudden I had an epiphany that I wanted to have my new living room Alice in Wonderland themed in my new house, and so I just became obsessed and I started buying Alice in Wonderland themed decorations, and I decided that I had to have this Barnes & Noble book that I will feature in a haul later, but if you're watching this you saw it early. And yeah, so I'm currently reading it. I am not loving the book that much, honestly. It's really whimsical and cool and interesting, but like it's just very random, very random. And the movies always kind of scared me a little. I just really love the whimsical Fantasyland type of feel. But yeah, I just think it's a beautiful book still, but it is pretty interesting. I also want to read Blackbird by Anna Carey and review it. This is an ARC and it comes out on September 14th, so I want to read that and review that before it comes out. I also want to read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. Reread, that is. I read this so long ago. Harry Potter is my #1, and I am finally accomplishing one of my life goals and going to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter on my trip that I'm going to be taking later in the month, so I definitely wanted to reread this and get all the feels back up and prepare myself for Harry Potter world. Honestly, with moving into my new house and I'm going to be leaving for my trip in the middle of the month, I won't really get much reading done there. I think I'm going to read probably just maybe these and maybe a couple more, if that. I'm not really sure. I have some free time on my hands right now, but I don't know. I need to do a bunch of stuff, house stuff, so yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what your favorite book that you read in August was. I would love to know. I'm always on the lookout for new books, and even though I have a very large growing TBR. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye guys!